So, you know, when students first graduate from school, they all think they're going to go out and earn $100,000. Lucky them. What they really need to do is really start at the beginning while they're in classes to get to know people within the industry. So what I tell them is they need to join an association that speaks to them. So they need to begin that professionalism very, very early so that when they graduate, they already have some contacts. They need to do volunteer work within the industry and even in areas they want to get into. So if they want to get into festivals, you know, Santa Claus Parade, volunteer, and those kinds of things lead to jobs. And those that do, they're the ones that I see around in a year or two. There's an awful lot of meeting and event planning courses today, but there are certain things that are lacking in them. I think it's very, very difficult to stay really up to date. When these courses are put through to the ministry, they have to stay on a certain course. You can change some of the content, but you can't change the outcomes, you can't change the name of the course, etc. So it's very difficult. One perfect example is green. Everybody was having green events before, and they were called, the courses were called green as part of their graduate programs. Sustainability is the new buzzword. So how do you can incorporate some of that, but you still need to make sure you use green in a lot of the words you use. I think that's missing. I also think the other things that are missing is the contact with the industry, which is why I really, really, really promote getting involved in the industry. And some of the people that inside the schools that have the authority are not out there in the field, so they don't see the changes happen almost every day. So all my students think everything that I do is very glamorous. It's all about the decor, it's all about the food and beverage, it's all about wearing long gowns when I go out to do events. They forget about the 80% that actually happens behind the scenes, the grunt work, which if you're not successful at that, you're not going to be successful at the on-site. Yes, it's glamorous to a point. Yes, we get to stay at 4- and 5-star hotels, but really all we see are the inside of 4 walls for the most part. Economically, it's the smaller conferences and seminars that make the money for the economic impact in a city. And I think that that's really key. And that's my strength. The focus needs to be on understanding that an objective must be met for every single event or conference or festival or whatever you want to call it. If strategically the planner can't help the organizers meet that objective, then they're not doing their job. It is definitely about how many cups of coffee we need, how many USB flash drives we need. It's also about, if I do this, will it help me meet my objective? Not only the objective of the organizers, but the objective of the people you want to come. Imagine doing Caribana Festival and not meeting the objectives of the hundreds of thousands of people that come into this city for Caribana and what they want out of it. Imagine the economic impact of them not coming any longer. Students get a lot of theory. They do get some practice. Almost every course that I know of has some practicum involved in it. They are still pretty green, although they think they know it all when they leave school. I believe your job as somebody who's already in the industry is to help to guide them. If you're going to take on a graduate student, please do, understanding that they're not going to know it all, and also understanding that they've probably learned some things differently than what you're doing within your organization, and help them understand that. And maybe you can learn something from them too. I think for me, the best part of what I do with my teaching is I learn from my students, because what they'll allow you to do is to move into a different mindset and explore your own field even more so while they take over your roles.